The memories of the dead ninjas take Sungwoo back to a shopping mall. There are a lot of ninjas assembled in the main lobby of the shopping mall, and it seems like they are waiting for instructions. Sungwoo notices that the number of ninjas present here is more than the number of ninjas Jisoo-yoon defeated. Gato informs the ninjas that he will head east towards Suwon Town with his 1st Division. The 2nd Division will reach Chonan and complete its mission. The 2nd Division needs to obliterate the Hunter Company building in Chonan Station. At the same time, the 1st Division will execute Plan A, and they will regroup in Suwon Town. There are no specific targets. They just need to clean up everything neatly so the Hunter Company can't re-establish itself. Obliteration of the Hunter Group traitors is the request of their client. Sungwoo has a vague idea about the person who must have put these ninjas to eliminate him, as well as the Hunter Company. The memory fragment ends at the same time, and another fragment appears behind him. This is the first time Sungwoo could browse through 2 memory fragments. Meanwhile, in the real world, Sungwoo is standing still like a mannequin while Hanho checks his condition. Hanho stretches the face of Sungwoo while saying, "Every time Sungwoo goes like this, it is really fascinating." He stops for a while like a broken machine. Lieutenant Kim tells Hanho to not disturb Sungwoo too much because his skill requires it to be used while his security is ensured. All of a sudden, Sungwoo opens his eyes. Sungwoo smashes the head of Hanho and says that his minions should have gotten rid of this nuisance while he was in the memory fragment. Sergeant Kim asks Sungwoo if he gained some special information or something. Sungwoo says that there is only one thing that popped up that needs to be dealt with right away. Sergeant Kim thinks that Sungwoo is talking about their captive, so he asks Sungwoo if he wants them to get rid of him as Jisoo-yoon told them to. Sungwoo forbids them from doing anything like that. For now, they will wait and watch. Meanwhile, at the Chonan station, the 2nd Division of the ninjas managed to finish the sentinels who were guarding the terrace. Their leader tortured a guy who revealed that their main base is said to be in the penthouse right below them. If they wipe out this section, they will easily collapse. They will enter through the vent and immediately get rid of the upper floor hallway security. They will quietly execute everyone so no one can run away. The ninjas enter through the vent and quietly execute the security forces. In the end, they kick open a meeting room. The 2nd Division leader says hi to the Hunter Company people. The leader of the Hunter Company tells everyone to stop as he already knows that these ninjas belong to the Yamato Guild that had a secret meeting with the Evolution Society. The 2nd Division leader says that they are not completely useless as they were prying into their client's back. The Hunter Company leader says that your client was once our client, plus their client collected that information on the Japanese server through them. With that being said, the ninjas start killing off the players. The 2nd Division leader says that they didn't come here to negotiate or have a conversation. They are ninjas who only move to kill people. The 2nd Division leader says that the only reason they are still alive is because of information after they kill the Necromancer, who is the representative of their server. But before he can continue, the leader of the Hunter Company starts laughing out loud. The 2nd Division leader asks him why he is laughing, and the Hunter Company leader asks him if they are really serious about killing the Necromancer. The Hunter Company leader says that there is no way they can kill him. The moment the world quest targeted at the Necromancer popped up, he realized that he was the only person who could solve fundamental problems with this game, and the system's hostility toward the Necromancer proved his point. There is no way such a person can die at the hands of some pathetic ninjas. The 2nd Division leader strikes the table with his sword while saying that this is the problem with you guys. Since they didn't know anything, they just denied that it couldn't be like that. They have only been swimming inside a pond for a long time, all gathered up amongst themselves, but this world is vast. The moment they step into the wild world, their true colors will show. They are weak bastards who can only die before the strong. The 2nd Division leader orders his subordinates to kill everyone present in the room, and they will report back that no useful information was found at the base of the Hunter Company. One of the ninjas spots something coming toward them from the sky. The alpha male wyvern smashes into the window of the Hunter Company. The wyverns start tearing the building apart. Even the ninjas are afraid, as their 1st Division was tasked with taking care of the Necromancer. The Hunter Company leader mocks the ninjas for not predicting this outcome. The 2nd Division leader knows that they can't compete with the Necromancer, so he goes for the head of the Hunter Company leader to complete their request. But before he can stab the Hunter Company leader, his sword gets stopped by the Grim Reaper scythe. The 2nd Division leader gets pushed back quite far. All of a sudden, all of the ninjas get hit by a debuff. Their bodily functions are weakened due to an unknown energy, and all of their stats have decreased by 4. This is the first time the ninjas have been exposed to such extreme conditions, and they are barely maintaining their sanity. Sungwoo says that you guys don't even know what a demigod state is, and you are like a frog in a pond. Sungwoo looks back at the leader of the hunter company with contempt. Sungwoo asks him if his request has been carried out properly, but the hunter company leader says that it has not been completed yet. Sungwoo says that he will be demanding some additional requests, and he asks them to bring information about the Japanese server. Sungwoo says that their next hunting ground will be the Japanese server. The second division leader gets pissed off, but for some reason, he cannot muster up the courage to attack the Necromancer. It feels like both his mind and body are shrinking, and he can't muster the courage to move like a row inmate waiting for death. The hunter company leader says that he will start gathering information on the Japanese server, while Sungwoo will try to find some information on his own. Sungwoo says that maybe he should open up the heads of these guys and look for himself. The minions start popping out of the abyss. In a few minutes, the minions start massacring the ninjas, and the whole room gets filled with screams for help. The leader of the hunter company is amazed after watching this spectacle unfold before his eyes. It turns out the ranks of these ninjas are lower than the first division, so they have no important memory fragments. Sungwoo asks the hunter company leader how long he should wait for his request, and the hunter company leader says that he just needs to wait for a while. Sungwoo is waiting in the drawing room while he is being served some tea and biscuits. The hunter company leader starts organizing the information. He informs Sungwoo that the main base of the Evolution Society is completely wrapped in a veil. Even if they do this, they will not see any results. Plus, a team he sent to tail them was annihilated. The hunter company leader says although they don't know where the main base is, the hunter company has been digging up information on what they are trying to do. The hunter company leader lightens up as the information they get will be a big help to the Necromancer. Sungwoo is annoyed by how the hunter company leader is looking at him. Sungwoo asks if the Japanese server is showing slight movements in order to attack him, and the hunter company leader confirms it. He further informs Sungwoo that they must plan something bigger. Just after the World Quest was announced, the Yamato Guild's movements became prominent in Kyushu, Japan. They seem to have formed a Kyushu Unified Army in order to conquer Korea, also known as the Korean Strike Project. Sungwoo thinks that he must be the main target of this Korean Strike Project, and it seems like the world's quest is centered on eliminating him. The one who is hated by the big world is the name of this world quest. It's a hunting or protecting type of quest. The players need to hunt or protect the players belonging to the World Tree faction. There are a lot of different rewards depending on the situation. If a player chooses the hunting option, he will get 5 million gold coins for each World Tree faction member, and when killing the Necromancer, they will get 500 million gold. In case the players choose to protect the World Tree faction, their rewards have not yet been budgeted. Sungwoo, who is the first ancestor of the World Tree faction, is the most problematic player in the world. He took actions that brought the two absolute races anger upon himself. As such, the two absolute tribes have decided not to leave him alone. This event is for the whole world, and it is not limited to a single server. The players must also choose whether they are going to follow the orders of the absolute tribe or resist them and join the new faction. The contents of this quest may change depending on the progress of the situation. Sungwoo thinks that there is a protection option, but most players will not go for it since the rewards have not been budgeted, and it's the same as having no rewards. People from other servers are not just going to eliminate him, but they are going to attack the whole server as well. Sungwoo asks the hunter company leader if he has more details. The hunter company leader says that although the information itself has been obtained through some rumors circulating in Kyushu and from some low-level officials, it appears that some pretty large-scale troops are preparing to land in Busan. Sungwoo asks him about the size of these troops. The hunter company leader says that they can mobilize 4,000 troops, and if they also take reserve forces into account, then their estimated numbers can be around 6,000. Sungwoo says that he heard the population of Kyushu is smaller than that of the other islands in Japan, but these numbers are more than he expected. The hunter company leader says that although the Yamato Guild swallowed up Kyushu, there was a problem with their method. They forced the Kyushu group to join them by mobilizing ninjas and having them assassinate their heads. Sungwoo becomes a bit relieved after knowing that the Kyushu forces didn't lose too much manpower after their quarrel with the Yamato Guild. The hunter company leader says that this can be the weakness of the Yamato Guild. The fact that there was not a fight between troops can only mean that they must lack 1 versus 1 combat experience. The reason why Japanese soldiers were feared during the previous Japanese invasion of Korea was because they were war professionals who fought numerous battles throughout the Warring States period. Sungwoo thinks that their numbers are not the main problem. Even if they can muster more than 6,000 troops, that would not be a major problem, because these numbers are nowhere near the Chinese pirate army. The main problem is the quality of each Japanese server player. Since the world has turned into a game, what matters during a large-scale battle are levels and items. Fighting skills, as well as the number of troops, are secondary. Even Jisoo Yun, who can easily fight against hundreds of players, was sent to a faraway place through just an item. If, instead of fighting against other humans, we were to raid a dungeon, then our levels, as well as the standard of our items, would be high. Sungwoo orders the hunter company leader to keep collecting information. Sungwoo reminds him of one more thing. He wants the hunter company to find an item or something else that can quickly move them to Busan. Han Kang-seok and the King of the Great Mountain both did it, so there must be another way of obtaining a teleportation item. This sort of item will help him react right away if any problem arises. While Sungwoo is moving out, the hunter company leader asks him for the requested fees. Sungwoo flares up while telling him that he saved his life just now, which should be enough for the fees. With that being said, Sungwoo heads back to his Alpha Wyvern. The hunter company leader and his lackeys are watching him go off into the distance. All of a sudden, the hunter company leader cannot hide his emotions anymore, and he says that the Necromancer is so cool. After a few hours, Sungwoo arrives in Suwon town. He informs others about the invasion of Japanese players in Busan. Although the ones who will be attacking them will be Kyushu forces, not the entire Japanese server, he still wants to let Busan know about the invasion plan. It's going to be problematic if the enemy finds out about their plans. Hanho says it's easy. He can just make a secret comment about an old post made by Busan's Hwarang Guild. Sungwoo is thinking that when it comes to stuff like this bastard Hanho can strangely think of smart solutions. In a few minutes, Hanho is done writing his secret comment about an old post by the Hwarang Guild where he informs them about the incoming invasion. In a few minutes, they get a reply from the Hwarang secret newsroom. Hwarang Guild thanks them for the warning. They continuously watch the Japanese server movements, which are on the opposite side of the sea, and they also make sure to have a decent amount of coastal artillery. The issue that the World Tree faction is worried about will never happen. The Hwarang Guild only loves peace, but they still have the power and mentality to never kneel before anyone. Hanho says that these Hwarang Guild guys sound a bit cold, and he is not sure if their last line was meant for them or for everyone. Spearman Kyungsoo says that they only revealed that they will not be hostile to them, but the Hwarang Guild is part of the Devil faction. It can't be helped if they have ill intentions toward them. Hanho says that we have done what we can for them, and Lieutenant Kim says that he hopes the Hwarang Guild takes this warning seriously. They are not sure if this coastal artillery will be enough, and Hanho says that there are so many ways to bypass it. Sungwoo tells them not to worry about the rest as they need to prepare in their own way. After a few days, some ships are moving toward the Korean server. Chief Okata Akira assembles the 3rd Division of the ninjas. Okata Akira flares up as he orders them to begin the Busan invasion, and he warns them to never disappoint him. All ninjas ride on their kites. These kites are a special ninja item. A slight stealth effect is additionally added to these kites. The ninjas move quietly toward the coast of Busan. The coastal artillery is right in front of them, but it seems to be offline. Ninjas use a skill called Mind Unity. It allows hearing each other's voices even from a distance. After reaching the coastline, the ninjas inform their headquarters that they have reached the coastline, and it seems like they have lined up so much artillery. They seem to have poured a lot of gold into this, but thankfully they could not detect the ninjas. If they had approached the coastline head-on, then their fleet would have sunk. The ninjas spot a mountain where they head for landing. In a few minutes, they successfully land on the mountain. They landed at a good spot with a huge opening. The 3rd Division leader orders other ninjas to install the hypergate item here. The ninjas inform their leader that they are pouring large-scale mana into it, which is a tough challenge. They will need at least 12 hours to install it. Hypergate is a bidirectional portal item that lasts 10 minutes once activated. It's a surefire way to let a significant number of troops safely infiltrate. The ninja leader scouts nearby locations. He says that soon, the Korean server's Evolution Society will support this plan by spraying poisonous gas in Busan. The Japanese will take advantage of this chaos, and if they manage to safely activate the gate, then their plan will succeed, unlike Divisions 1 and 2, which failed to assassinate the Necromancer. In 12 hours, starting now, they will strike and uproot the whole World Tree faction. Somewhere in an alley in Busan, 3 beastmen are plotting something. They open up a poisonous gas pot. At the same time, in the World Tree faction, Sungwoo and his clan members succeeded in installing the war wagon. Sungwoo says that if a battle occurs in Busan, then they should think of a way to move the siege weapon. Even if they use inventory, 10 items is the limit. They have more siege weapons, and they will increase going forward. Lieutenant Kim says that they have those giant wyverns. They can equip ballista on their backs, or they can just equip fixed crossbows. Sungwoo was flustered as he never thought of such a great idea before. Using a flying object just for close-range battles would be a waste, and a strategy where they can lay waste to their enemies with a ballista would be perfect. Hanho says that this combination will be killer, and they can also try equipping the Thunder God Mace. Hanho further says that they can try equipping the other summons as well. Sungwoo feels a bit relieved, and Hanho says that they should begin immediately. At the same time, in the prison cells of the World Tree faction, there seem to be fewer guards stationed near the prisons. One of the female captives says that there is no one watching them and it's a mess outside, while Yujin says that a war is about to break out, so it makes sense. He further says that no one will pay attention to the members of a fallen guild, but the female player says that they were once a huge threat to the Necromancer. All of a sudden, the prisoner caught by Jisoo-yoon tries to get up after realizing that there are no guards outside due to war preparations. He easily breaks free from the chains. He says that this seems like the perfect moment to escape.